Hello, welcome back to the channel. Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench. Yes, you're looking at a Walrus, and you might have seen me do a review of this a few weeks ago, and what a beautiful kit this is. Other than the wheels are full of sink marks. We need to get some resin wheels for it. But, the only ones I can see at the moment online are the Edward ones, which are now discontinued, as is all the other stuff for this kit from Edward. So I've dropped them an email and I've asked them if they would consider re-releasing it, because the kit has been re-released and their resin wheels are the only game in town, and really the photo etch and everything. I have got for this one, for when I finally get around to building it, I've got the Ames bracing wires, because as we know on the British aircraft, the wires were of a sort of flat section rather than just a round wire rope. So I thought I'd get the photo etch ones and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, enough about this one. If you remember when I did this video, I said if anybody knows where there is a 1/32 scale HpH Walrus that's for sale, then please let me know. And indeed, Rob got in touch. Here it is. It is on my bench. Rob got in touch and he said he's got a kit. It's complete. More about that in a minute. But the box is very, very tatty, as you can see. And basically, the box was literally in pieces. So you can see when you look around, it's all shiny. And I've basically just put tape all around the box and just rebuilt it, and I've done the same with the bottom of the box. He also kindly included this. So this is the Warpaint Series 39. So that was very good of him. Thank you very much, Rob. I hadn't expected this, but nice to see. And great book with lots of period images and drawings and some colour schemes. So yeah, very well worth having, I think, for this build. There's also some great close-up pictures in the back end. Where did I see these? Like this, you can see the rigging there, you can see the flat wires there rather than just the round cable. But yeah, very, very nice indeed. So thank you for that, Rob. Now then, if you want to get one of these and build it, unfortunately you can't. It's no longer made. HpH are, they say limited edition, and they are one company. You know, every man and his dog now puts limited edition on everything, don't they? Get bloody limited edition Heinz mayonnaise, you know. But yeah, the kit world particularly, everything that seems to come out of China now has got a limited edition on it. But these kits, HpH, are actually limited edition. So if you see a HpH kit and you think, oh, I like that, I'm going to get that, get it, because one day it will be gone. And that's what happened to me. I got in touch with them. I have a fairly good relationship with HpH, as some of you will know, and they said, sorry, no, we don't do them anymore. I said, well, can't you make me one? They said, nope, molds are finished, that's it. So when they're gone, and this has gone. That was why I was keen to get hold of one. So yes, we have one on our bench, which is really, really good. So just before, this is going to be quite a long review, this one, because of the nature of the kit. It's going to take quite a long time to review. So if you don't like long reviews, then switch off. So something else worth noting, if you do want to build one of these, it's worth getting this magazine. This is December 2013, so almost 10 years ago now. Model Airplane International. If you are searching, it's airplane, the American type. If you are searching for it, it's not aeroplane, it's airplane, as the Americans write it. And in here is a fantastic build feature from none other than John Tiger Wilkes, he is awesome. Great guy. Get on really well with him. So in here you can see a complete build of the model. You can see there's the model there completed. I know I've spoken to John about this a few times, or a couple of occasions, and I remember him telling me the undercarriage kept breaking, so it's probably a good idea to leave the undercarriage until the end. He also says in here that he'd almost got it finished, ready for paint, and dropped it. Must have been gutted. So yeah, as we can see, it's all done there, all looking lovely. I've actually seen the model built up. It looks beautiful. And from that point then on, I've wanted one. So you can see we've got some colour schemes here. And then here's all the build feature, building up the engine. He's got a jig here holding it all together. Remember, this has all got to be super glued or white glued or whatever. And yeah, amazing. Amazing build. You can see it looking lovely there with the engine all sat there on the angle as it does. Looks really weird with the engine's in. You can see here all the painting, and then the decal's going on and looking lovely. Now you can see there's a vision of it there from the rear. Okay, you can see here's used RB Productions turnbuckles. So there we go. Right, let's have a look at the model. So then, looking at the box, we have a simple sort of paper printed sticker, if you like, stuck to the front of the box, generic box, so they could use the same box for all the different kits. And here you can see the two versions you can build out of the box. So we've got HMS Sheffield here 1941 and HMS Amir 1945. So I believe that's Australian markings there. I'm sure someone will correct me. So removing the top of the box, you will see inside, if you are basically a scale modeler into plastic kits and you've never seen a resin kit before, this will blow your mind. It's nothing like the same thing. So here we have a decal sheet. So we've got all our decals there. You can see we've got the HMS Amir decals here. We've got the HMS Sheffield ones there with our fin flashes. We've got walkways. The decal sheet is going to be quite old. It's not going to be in the best of conditions. As you can see, it's got a crease in it. But I've got one-man army masks, so I can replace all these roundels quite easily. Walkways I would paint anyway. Fin flashes are obviously no problem to paint. The lettering here would be an issue, so we'll have to use those. But other than that, I think we'll be okay with masks. So that's good. Right, so decals out of the way. Now we've got this little bag of goodies here. I'm going to move the box to one side. We've got a little bag of goodies here, and this is really, really nice. So we have here a DVD-R, and on there is your instruction manual. You've got a video of helping, tips on how to build HpH models, and then there's lots of reference pictures in there as well. So it's very nice to have. You can have a laptop next to you. You can transfer it onto an iPad or something, or you can just print them out, which is what I do. I like to have paper copies here, especially for reviews and video builds. It's so much easier to have a paper copy to revert to than keep going backwards and forwards. And I still don't have any software that I can actually put my computer screen here for you to see. So there we go. We've got some HGW seat belts, which are very, very nice indeed. You can see it's a Sutton type harness there. Okay. There's no photo etch in here, which is a little bit of a concern. But we do have photo etch there, so I believe we should be good with that. So there's our seat belts. We've got a sheet of acetate there for, it might be clear styrene, for a couple of small windows. You've got to cut yourself. We have some vinyl masks, okay, which I prefer to use kabuki tape masks. But there we go. We have vinyl masks, so you can use them if you want to. In here we have a couple of sheets of PE. So we have the colour. This is obviously made by Edward. You can see it's 2013, so it's 11 years old at least, this one. You can see here we've got the coloured photo etch sheet there for the instrument panel and radio gear and everything. And then we have some belts by the look of it, some little pieces on there. And then over the page we've got another sheet of PE. We've got some weapon cans there. We've got various bits and pieces that are all really, really covered well in the manual. So the beauty of these models, HpH, people look at them and say, oh, that's pricey. I don't remember how much this was when it was available, but let's just say it was probably £150, say. So, you think, well, that's pricey, but you don't have to buy anything else. Everything is in the box. All your reference material, everything is in here. So when you actually look at the box itself, what you get is basically a load of bags of resin. Now, I've gone through all this. So if you do happen to buy one of these, you won't have as many plastic bags as I've got, because they tend to put a lot of parts in one bag and they run around and get damaged. I know that some bomb parts have been damaged. You can see here, bomb tails have been damaged there. So yeah, I tend to split the parts up to minimise the damage. But there is a bit of damage in this kit. It's obviously second hand. It's been shipped twice, but I don't worry about things like that, because with resin, the beauty of it is if you get a piece of styrene, I say this all the time, this is by Lamborghini Gearbox. If I actually snap this now in half, it would bend and then break. So when you glue it back together, it would have a bend in it. If it was resin and I snapped it, it would go bang and it would break. Glue it back together, you would never know it was broken. And that is the beauty of resin. So if you do get a resin kit and it's got broken parts, don't worry about it. Just glue them back together, a bit of super glue, and you'll never know they were broken. So the kit is basically 100% resin. There's metal inserts in some of the legs and that, which I'll show you in a minute. But even the clear parts, as you can see here, the clear parts are moulded in resin. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. The first thing I want to do is go through the instructions, and I've printed these off. I think it's 45 pages in all. So we'll get this out of the way. We'll get that over there out of the way there. Okay. So we have lots and lots of sheets. So on the front here, you've got all this in, this is in Czech, I think. And we got all the dimensions and everything there, the total weight, the wingspan, the weapons and all that. We've got reference photos here. Unfortunately, my printer was running low on ink when I printed some of these, and then I replaced the cartridge and it looks a lot better. Let's go over the page here. Here we've got it in English, all the same thing. So there we go. I would recommend getting some aftermarket machine guns because they don't look that nice in here, but we shall see. And they've got the assembly tips here, and then you've got your colours. Now what's really weird with HpH, they don't sell their souls to any paint manufacturers. They just tell you, you know, gunmetal, dirty yellow, green. So check your references and make sure you're getting the right shade of green. You know, green. It could be like a Bristol bus, or it could be, you know, black green. Who knows? So so that's our contents. Got all our resin parts there, all shown as actual parts. I would recommend having this on your computer screen. Blow it up so you can see, because there's lots and lots of tiny little pieces, and it's very difficult to tell what they are. As I say, I've got a couple of bits missing. There's these 166 are basically damaged beyond recognition, but I can make something. There's a panel here, 74, although in the instructions it's called 75, but that's not there. But that doesn't matter because it's just a backing for the instrument panel. So I'll make that out of some plastic card. But we've got photo etch to stick on there anyway, so it doesn't, you know, does it need to be there? I don't know. And there's another couple of little tiny bits and pieces missing, but it doesn't really matter. One thing that is a bit confusing here, 116 is some tiny little gussets that says you need 30 of them. There's only 4 in the kit, and I could only see 4 called out in the instructions, so I don't know what's going on there. Okay, so going over the page now, we have page 1 of the build. You should have 1, 2, 3, and then it goes back to 1, which is the actual build instructions. So you can see here we've got the main centre sort of frame going together. That's 2 parts that sandwich together and then go into the centre of the fuselage. So they're showing you where everything goes, and then they show you it all fitted. Now, when I looked at John's build in the Model Airplane magazine, it basically said that they're asking you to, because of the size of the grooves, they're expecting you to sand these within an inch of their lives. So he recommends opening up the grooves to make them wider rather than sanding them down so thin. Remember, a lot of this detail in here is not going to be seen once it's built. Okay, in fact, none of it is going to be seen. So, you know, the only window you've got is there. You've got the gunner's port here, so you're going to see something down in here. But all of this here, you're not going to see. But as I always say, you know, it's for the fun of the building. I just enjoy, personally, I enjoy the building. If I can't see it at the end of the day, I've got photographs of it. I've got video of it. You guys have seen it. So I think it's worth doing. At the end of the day, if you know, really, what's the point in the hobby if all you're concerned about is what you can see? That's just my attitude towards it. I know that a lot of people would disagree, but you know, yeah, I'm not going to start detailing the inside of an engine if I'm going to glue the engine halves together, because I'm not going to scratch build pistons and stuff. But you know what I'm saying. If it's in the kit, I like to build it. So you can see we've got some reference pictures across the bottom here as well. And they're telling us where to put decals. They've got waterline markings on the inside for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's so that if they see water coming in above them, they know they're sinking. I don't know. Or if they're upside down, then the waterline would be up here, wouldn't it? So I don't know, but it's there. Right, so so that's that. And then we have page 2, basically repeating it all on the other side. And then we've got this front panel going in here, which is the stepping board for the guy to stand in at the front. Again, you're going to see a lot of detail down in there. We've got some pulley going in there and some ammo cans and everything. And then we're going to build up the actual cockpit seat base now here. You can see the level of detail they go to. They've got the base here, and we've got these frames going on the side, and then we've got the cross pieces going in there. It's telling us all the colours to paint each individual part. And then we've got some pedals going in there, and you can see we've now built up the cockpit floor there. And then coming over the page here, going to 4, we've got the more bits and pieces going in, supports, and then we're going to actually fit this into the fuselage. Now we're going to build up the pilot's seat. Okay, building up the pilot's seat with all the cushions. Be very careful with the cushions. There's lots of cushions that all look very similar, but they do have a slight difference in size, so make sure you use the right ones. Here we're telling you how to put the belts together, so we do have photo etch. We've got to add some wire as well, and we're going to build up a beautiful looking Sutton harness and get that fitted to our seat. And then going over the page, we've got a panel here going in behind the pilot by the look of it, this is what's really nice with HpH. Everything is photographed, so there's no ambiguity. and it shows you not only that this is the part going where it's going, but they show you what it looks like fitted. So you can see here, that's going in there, and there it is fitted. The seat's going in there, there it is fitted. Okay, these parts are going in here, there they are fitted. It's beautiful. This is going together, there's the finished assembly. Really, really nice. Then going over the page 6, we're adding in the little capstan reel for the rope on the front. You might want to put some rope on there. And then we've got this little anchor going in here. We've got some ammo cans there. They're telling us to remove, so they've got moulded on detail in the resin, but they're also telling us to remove it and add some photo etch, so that's nice. We've got some throttle quadrants going together here. You can see the level of detail. The throttle quadrant alone is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. So yeah, it's amazing. And then they're telling you all the colours to paint it. Then it's all getting fitted in there, and then again, there it is fitted. Dasgwerks, could learn a lot from these instructions. And then we've got photo etch to go on there. So very, very nice indeed. I'm just looking here. I'm assuming that's going to be coloured photo etch. Yes, it is. So we've got their like plaques to go on there. So there's 12 you can see there. And then some other bits. Here's 17 is the little rectangular black placard in the middle. So you don't need any aftermarket at all. It's all there. Got some cushions here going above the pilot's seat. And then going over the page, we've got those cushions there fitted, and then here we've got these 2 instrument panels going in. This is the part on my kit that's missing. In the call outs it's 74 and 75. In here it's 74 and 75. Not that it matters, but it'd be easy to make that out of plastic card, I think. It almost looks like that's plastic card. It's such a light colour compared to the rest of it, and I'm kind of wondering if it was made in plastic card. I just haven't spotted it or something. I don't know, but I'm sure it's missing. I'm not bothered about that at all. I can easily make that a plastic card because I've got the photo etch part as a reference. Okay. So there we go. It would be impossible getting spare parts for this now because, as I say, it's discontinued. We've got the photo etch parts. Then they're showing you going onto the instrument panel. You've got the compass there as well. We've got the control wheel going onto the column. So that's all good. And then here we've got the control column being fitted, and you can see that's in there. And then we've got some greeblies going on the side. Again, they're showing you the greeblies fitted. Got some little floor panels going in here. You can see it fitted there. There's a shelf there going on the back. And then going over the page here, you can see it's just, I'm going to sort of speed things up a bit. It's just, you can see just detail after detail after detail going in. All the photo etch belts, and there's a brace there going in. There's a shelf there on the side. More detail, more detail, more detail. Table, radios on the table there. Absolutely gorgeous. And you can see more instruments going on the back of there. Loads of bits and pieces going on here. These 4 gussets I was talking about, 1, 1, 6. They're telling you to put them in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I don't see them called out anywhere else, and they're in the part call outs. It says you need 30 of them. So I'm guessing this is telling you to do the same on the other side. Where was the legend? Yeah, symmetrical assembly. So you do at least need 8 of them there. So there we go. But again, having said that, they're in an area where they're never going to be seen. So yeah, I might mould some more. I might just not bother. We shall see. And then we've got this webbing going in the top here. That's going underneath the behind the wing area. So I'm not quite sure that's just obviously part of the structure for the roof. But there you go. It's hard to know where we are. And then we've got this seat frame going together here, which is very nice. Adding the cushions, adding some belts, fitting the seat. That looks like your wireless operator's seat. And then we've got these pieces going in here. Again, it's symmetrical. We're going to do both sides. So it's telling us to cut that piece up to go in. And then we've got like this is a cable reel for the trailing antenna, I'm guessing. And then we've got this here, which is, not sure what that is. It's like a rotary. It's going to hold something. It's looking like it's like a little shelf going behind the seat with a hole in it. And then we've got some more ammo cans here. We've got a bag there, something or other. We've got a big pulley there. So all very nice. And then we've got the gun ring going in here. Again, we've got a symmetrical assembly, so fit the same on the other side. And then we've got this main spar going along there, along the centre. More ammo bins going in the other side. And then we've got these pieces here going in the other side. You can see them there. And then we've got another seat being made up. There's lots of seats in here, isn't there? And then going over the page, we have another floor panel going in. This is all going into the other side now. Another floor panel going in. We have another seat going in. And another belts, backrest, headrest, floor. Not sure what that is. That's like a hole in the floor with like a daisy cutter on it. I'm sure there are people in the comments that will tell me what it is. I'm sure it'll tell me in that book that's in there. And then more detail going in, as you can see, all going in the other side. We've got some bottles going in there, more ammo cans, another big reel or something. And then we've got the fuselage halves coming together. And this is interesting. They tell you to use bits of wire, or you could use plastic rod, I'm guessing, 2mm diameter by 6mm length, and put that in for your pins to bring your fuselage halves together. And then you've got some wire here, which is bent by the look of it. I don't think it's in the kit. I didn't see it in the contents. I think you have to supply your own. That goes through there. And then you've got the gun ring going in on the nose, which is very nice indeed. Then moving on, we've got more work done on the gun ring. We've got some belts going in here. It looks like they're going to hang off the sides. And then we're going to build up our tail plane. Okay, with the elevators. Again, we're using 2mm wire. What does that hand symbol mean? Does it mean give yourself a clap or a pat on the back? Scratch build, yeah, so that scratch build the hand means they're telling you to supply it yourself. So if you are going to get one of these, you need to get yourself some 2mm metal rod, which I have, which is cool. I'm guessing if it's not pre-drilled, I mean, if you've got, I've got 1.8 I've just bought for the Vomag, I could use that, I guess. You can see it going together here. And what's interesting here, they're telling you to put the metal rod between there, but they're not telling you to put anything here, and now they're showing it with metal rod between them. So, yeah, make your own mind up there. And then going over the page, we're going to fit the fin, the lower fin to the fuselage. Then we're going to fit the elevators, with 1.5mm wire. Make sure it's 90 degrees. And then you've got this little top section of the fin going on, and then the rudder going in. Very nice indeed. They're not telling you to use wire on there. I would suggest putting some wire pins in there to hold it. And then we've got the supports going on here. These are actually resin parts with metal inside them, so that's all nice. And then you've got this little actuator going in the bottom there. Again, all these arrows are telling you to do the same on the other side. Wings going together, so we've got ailerons going into the wings. Okay. And then we've got some more wire to put the wings together around the centre section. And then we're going to actually put the lower wings onto the wire that we've previously put in the fuselage. It's telling us here we're going to have 3 degrees dihedral on each side. And then we've got a jig here. This is a little jig they've given you that you're going to take to the fuselage, and then you're going to stick your engine pod on that at the front, and then you're going to add your uprights. These have got metal inside them as well, and that's going to support your engine. So you can see that all these uprights have got metal in them, which is going to make them very strong and not just, you know, break as soon as you touch them. So you can see here the engine's fitted, it's on quite an angle, and then we've got lots of details going on that engine, and then we're going to fit the upper wing with the supports. They make it look so easy, just fit the upper wing, yeah, that's going to be a nightmare. Getting it all aligned. You may wish to fit the centre section to the engine, get that all nice, and then slide your wings on. Not sure. There is no option in the kit to have the wings folded, but you may want to modify it yourself. These parts here, 166, in this kit, they're destroyed. So I'll have to scratch build something. I'll just cut the ends off a piece of plastic tubing or something. That won't be difficult. So there we go. As if I ever build the bloody thing. And then we've got these parts here going on the wings. I'm not sure what they are. They're probably parts of the folding mechanism. And then we've got some little bits of photo etch and stuff going on here. We have like a flap there, is it, for the gunner? Not sure, because I thought I had a clear window in there, but I'll have to do my research. Then we've got some pieces going in here for the steps, building up the wheels and tyres, making up some windows, some photo etch frame going on the window there, And then we've got more photo etch greeblies going on, undercarriage going on. Probably best not to fit that at this stage if you listen to John, probably to leave it to the end. So we've got the undercarriage going on here, and then we've got a tail skid or a tail wheel going on there. Probably best to leave that. Again, that's got wire in it, I think. You can see we've got wire here for the control levers, or the control horns, for the tail wheel and for the rudder. So that's good. And then we've got a blanking piece going in there, and a photo etch ring. So that's obviously that hole in the floor you could see. I'm not quite sure what it's there for. It's probably something to allow any water to drain out. And then we've got more greeblies going on here. Guns going together. As I said, the guns, they're not really up to today's standards, so you might want to get some aftermarket. See if you can get some gas patch ones. That'll be beautiful. And then we've got some rails going in here. Got that piece going on there. Now, I thought they showed that already. This is page 25, this is page 23, and on page 23 they've got all this in place here, and now they're telling us to fit it. So yeah, a bit strange. So that's all going on, and we've got this clear window here going in, which is going to be hinged up if you're having the gun displayed. So I think that probably slides up there. So that's that. Yeah, I get confused where I am. Lots of photo etch rings going on the top of the wings. Okay, not exactly sure what they are. They might be tie downs or something, I'm not sure. But there's lots of these loops going on top of the wings. I've never seen them before. I don't know what they're for. That book is going to tell me. Beautifully designed and made photo etch bomb racks there. They're going underneath the lower wings. And then we've got some more bomb racks here with sway braces for the bigger bombs. You can see there's the assembly built up. Looking very nice indeed. Okay, and then we've got a little towing eye on the front there, going on the bow. And then we have our wing floats, very nicely done, making sure that's all 90 degrees. And then they're telling you to use wire here for the supports. I'm not telling you what diameter wire or anything, you have to check your references. And then we've got some little supports going on here, made out of wire by the look of it. Or no, these are photo etch. These are resin parts, and you've already got the wire supports in there. Sorry. Again, we're adding wire for the actuators for the ailerons by the look of it. And then we've got some tiny little pieces going on the front here. They're little tying off loops, and then we've got a wire antenna going on there. And then we're going to add some more antennas onto the wings, and then we're going to build up the beautifully detailed engine. Put the prop together. Again, we'll put wire in there. There's lots of wire in here, making sure the prop's at 90 degrees. And then we're going to fit the engine to the back of the engine pod. Probably best to leave that off and put it on at the end, otherwise you're just going to get broken. This is where the clear acetate comes in. You've got a piece of photo etch here. You're going to fold up, then you're going to cut this piece of acetate to fit, glue that to the photo etch, and then you've got to add a piece of wire for a hinge, and that's your little hinged window going on each side of the cockpit there. You can have them holding up. You can see on John's version, he did his with the window folded up, as you can see there. Makes it very nice to see down inside, but also extremely flimsy. So there we go, and then we've got some tensioning ropes here. They're telling you that the floats are and everything. And then over here we've got the wings. We've got some rigging diagrams for the wings, and then some rigging diagrams for the engine. Okay. And then we've got a photo archive of HP models. This is a walk around. Not sure where this one is. This one Hendon? Not sure where that is. It's probably Hendon. There you go. You can see lots of beautiful photographs there for reference. The engine there in detail. And this is all be on your CD-ROM as well, so you can blow all that up, your DVD-ROM, should I say. Okay. Very nicely done. You've got those tiny bombs on the bomb racks there. You actually have those bombs in the box, even though they're not called out. I couldn't see any bomb tails for them. And here we've got colour call-outs. So this is our scheme for HMS Sheffield 1941. So that's the RAF scheme. Royal Navy scheme. You can see all the British colours. I must keep saying British. I get told off when I say English. It's just habit. I don't mean anything by it. You can see there's the underside and the aerial views. You can see how much the engine is canted over. And then here we have Royal Navy 1700 NAS HMS Amir 1945. That was actually an ex-US carrier, that one. And it was given back to the US at the end of the war. And then here we have aerial views and underside views of that one. So there we go. So that has been a quick look at the instructions for half an hour. So we'll have a look at some resin parts. I probably won't go through all of them. We'll just look at a few of the major parts. If you want to see more in depth, then just ask and I'll do it. But here you can see, as you can see, you've got bags and bags of resin, and I've split stuff up. So looking at the, first of all, looking at the bigger parts, you can see we have our fuselage half. So you can see externally, you have all this lovely detail on here. Let's get the light on. You can see we have all this external detail. In fact, I'm going to put the light on the side to get the shadow as I normally do, and that will get you a nice view of all the detail. You can see it's every bit as nice as many injection molded kits. You've got to remember, guys, this is at least 10 years old, so you know, technology then wasn't what it is today. You know, 3D printers didn't even exist. Resin 3D printers didn't exist then, did they? You can see there's those holes for putting your pins in to help it all line up, and that'll all go together just like so. Okay, so there we are. You can see internally we have all the detail as well. You've got the flash there to remove, but you can see internally we have all the detail, and there's the gaps where the ribs go into, and you can see this is what John was saying, there's tiny gaps for those ribs to fit into. So just open them out a bit and let them be a bit thicker. But as you can see, once you've got that gun port there open, you're going to see the detail down in here. You're never going to see this, any of this here at all. You'll see a bit through those side windows, and you'll see the cockpit, and you'll see this here. But this area here, you know, I mean, you could paint that pink, and no one's ever going to see it. So depends how much you want to do, really. The clear resin parts are HpH's clear resin is absolutely stunning. It's some of the best I've ever seen. Bearing in mind, it's got better since this is 10 years old. It's got better since, but you will see here how gorgeous this cockpit is. This is the one bit I was worried about, because if the clear parts are broken, then I've had it, because you can't really repair them very easily unless they're broken on a frame line. But here we go. Come out, please. I'm going to put this in a bigger bag, I think. So there we go. You can see the clear parts are very clear. If I grab this business card, you can see there is like no distortion whatsoever. Really nice. I thoroughly recommend. I mean, this is an advert for HpH as much as anything, because you know, they deserve to sell kits. They're absolutely beautiful. They really are stunning. I'm going to put that in a bigger bag in a minute. And then we've got the little panel there. We've got a little clear panel that goes over the gun. Got some little wing lights there, which again aren't called up in the call outs. And we've got two little side windows there, which you'd probably be better off making out of acetate, really. But very nice clear resin parts. Get one of these bags of flat parts. This would be a good one to show you. This is what HpH do to make all their smaller resin parts. When you open these bags, if you get little tiny bits come out, don't assume it's flash. Always put the resin bits back in the bag, because it could be, you know, these little bits in here. You can see that. I mean, that is obviously flash, but you get a little bit like that and you think, oh, that's just a bit of flash. That might be a raised detail that snapped off of something. That might be a little panel on the side of a radio or something. But you can see what they do here. They puddle mold it. So they've obviously got a mold. They pour the resin in and they scrape off the excess, and it leaves this very thin layer of resin on the top, as you can see here. And the idea is this all falling apart. It's so thin. But the idea, like with this part here, you would cut that out, leave some of the skin on the back, and then lay it on top of a a flat sheet and just sand it with water. Just sand it until all that film on the back disappears, and that part in the middle, there is a separate part. It's not part of this. That is one piece. That's a separate part. It goes somewhere else. You can see that with this radio. You just get that on the back. See it on here. See the flash on there. You would just put that on a piece of wet and dry. Do it wet, rub it, and make sure you've got it. Luckily, I've got the self-adhesive stuff here from Infini, which is absolutely brilliant, and you can use it wet as well. And it needed to be stuck down. Don't just put a sheet of paper on the table and rub, because what happens, the paper will lift on the edges, and as you're going around, you'll be pulling it up, and you'll end up with a beveled back. So just make sure it stays nice and flat. Okay, so that's that, and you can see, I mean, there's a beautiful part there. I don't remember now where it goes. You can see that little beautiful part there, and that's going to end up with lots of holes around the outside of it. You've got like a shield there, and that's how all that's going to come out. I'm looking for the bag with all the structure in it. Here we go. This is an interesting bag to show you. So again, we've got these very thin sheets. This is bags within bags here. So we have this bag here. This is the one I really wanted to show you. Please open, come on. Okay, so this is really interesting, this one. Okay, so there you can see again, we've got this really thin layer of resin on the back, and there's our wheel hubs. So we're just going to basically rub them and until the all the material comes off the back. You can see on these little parts here, these little rods and stuff, what they do, grab a pointer, what they do, they mold the part, as you can see there, and on the bottom of it there's a piece of scrap. So what you do is you cut it off this thin sheet behind, and the actual part needs to be cut off there, in case you just score it and snap it. If it breaks, glue it back together again. But you can see that's the sort of thing. This is what I wanted to show you. These are all the internal ribs for the actual internals of the aircraft. So you can see here, see that one there is broken off from there. So what we've got here is all the internal ribs. There's a seat frame there, look, you see. It's all amazing. And you basically sand these away until all the backing comes off, and then you've got your main ribs and everything together to go in. And as I was saying, you can see how thick they are, and the gaps in the fuselage, as John has pointed out, are narrower. So widen them, and that allows these to fit in a little thicker, rather than sand them so they're so thin they just break. But you can see also pencil marks on here. These are numbers that I've put on. Okay, they're not from the manufacturer. You won't have that on your model if you get one, or any HpH model. The parts aren't numbered. You've got to do that yourself. I've only done it so that I can see which ones I've kind of checked off. But yeah, they are gorgeous. And then here you can see there's another flat sheet. You see there's like a parachute or something there. There's a bag of some sort. There's a round bar there. And as I say, just sand the backing off and you're good to go. Very nice indeed. So we'll just put all this back in its bag. Okay, this is quite an interesting one. As I say, we won't look at everything because it just takes forever. But you can see here we've got some of those floor plates. Oh, that's the bulkhead, isn't it, behind the pilot? You can see the moulding on there. It's really, really nice, very crisp, very clean. Here's that main central sort of former, which is going to be the main spar for the wing and everything, where the wing's going to attach. You can see the detail on there is lovely. Again, it's on a thin backing. You just sand the backing off and then glue them together. But the beauty of resin moulding is it's possible to do what you perhaps can't do with styrene, like these recesses on the inside here. If you want to do that in styrene, you'd have to have a little slide mould that came in. The same with these in the floor. Whereas with resin, you could just do what you want, really, because the silicone will just give way and let it come out. But yeah, very, very nice indeed. And then here's another little thin one I wanted to show you, and this is all your floor panels. Very, very nice. I'm guessing all this will be wood. which, you know, I love doing the wood. That would have come off of there, as you can see. That would have come off of there like that. So yeah, very, very nice. So they can go over there, and their bag can go on top of them. These parts here are interesting to look at, and then we'll just go through another couple of bags after these. So you can tip all this out. Come on. So you can see here, these are our main engine supports. You can see that inside there's wire. Okay, so the engine is going to be nice and solid. There's our pilot seat floor. Very nice indeed. You can see all the detail on the side of there. And then here's all your spars and struts and everything. You can see again they've got the wire inside them. So they're beautifully done. And again they've got this, they're sort of moulded onto a small rod. You can see there. You've got the part here, and then there's that small rod on the backing. So you just basically cut that rod off and then clean the rod off of the actual part. Don't forget, guys, when you're sanding this stuff, do it wet, wear a mask, do whatever. Don't go breathing this dust in, it's awful stuff. So you've got two of those. And then there's an undercarriage leg, I believe. You can see there's something else with the wire inside. I think this is an undercarriage leg, actually. There's the wire inside there. And then the wire goes all the way through, and there's an axle down in there. You can see the wire inside there. Give that a rub down, coat of primer, that'll disappear. Then there's the other side. And then we have the tail skid / wheel. There's a wheel to go in there. I think that's it there. I think that's the wheel there. But you can see again that's got wire in it. So it's going to be good and strong. You ain't got to worry about knocking it around. But I wouldn't put it on. I'd leave it to the end of the build and just slot it in. And that's the pour plug for that. And you can see there we've got our control wheel with a bit of flash on it. But it's accurately done with the wire, the winding around it. You can see it's not all perfectly evenly spaced and everything. It's lovely. Very, very nice indeed. So we'll put all that over there. And then just to show you, it's not all sort of tiny, tiny little flimsy bits. It does get chunky. So here's a big old bag of chunkiness. So come out, please. So you can see here we have, there's our centre wing section. You can see the holes are pre-marked for you, although you have to drill them out yourself, so you don't have to try and guess where they are. You can see those holes in there. We have ailerons. Okay. More ailerons. See the detail on there, the surface detail is lovely. There's our main engine pod. That is a solid lump of resin. Luckily we've got metal supports for it. That's very nice. Very nice indeed. Got all the rivet detail on there, as you can see. You might want to sort of accentuate it a bit because it does get a bit soft in places, but you know, it's nothing out of the realms of any modeler can do. And here we got our floats, our wing floats. Again, all the necessary detail on there. Very beautifully done. There's our elevators. Sorry, that's our tailplanes, isn't it? That's our tailplane. And the elevators are going to go on like that. So it looks like there was a hole that's been plugged, but there's no holes marked on these. So what we're going to have to do there is be very, very careful, or make up a template or something to drill them out. So bear that in mind. Possibly a piece of plastic card, put 2 holes in it, and then put a fence on the back and a fence on the side, and have the fence sort of sticking out on both sides, and then you can flip it over, draw those 2, and then you'll get them all in the same place, and then they'll go together beautifully. But you definitely need some wire between them. And as I say, they have a rod going through the elevators on the in the instructions, but they're not telling you to, but they show it like that. So so there we go. So that's all of that. So you can see you do get some chunky parts as well. And we've got here, we've got our wings, and they weigh a ton. So we've got our, that's the upper wing there, isn't it? Again, we've got the holes there pre-drilled for us. Interestingly, I've just noticed something on the side of the fuselage here. We do have some detail. So I'm wondering if when they first ventured into this project, if they thought maybe we will have a wing fold. Don't know. Interesting. But you can see there the wings, absolutely gorgeous, pre-marked for the drilling. So that's our upper wings. Just have a look at the detail on the surface for those that wish to see it. What's that? And there we go. I wonder, I thought that's a nail clipping. Ugh. Yeah, there's our upper wings. So you can see they're going to go around that centre spar. So to give you an idea of the size of the model. There you go. So it's not that big. What's that? That's what's that? 430mm wingspan. So it's not that big. It's not much bigger than a blooming Spitfire, is it really? So it's not a massive task to display. And we've got our lower wings in there with all the same detail, but you can see on here the detail is lovely. You've got holes marked out for those struts to go in. Again, they've got the wire in them, so it's all going to be nice and rigid. What's nice with having the wire is you'll be able to pull your rig in or whatever, and yeah, rigging, great. There's tiny little holes in here as well. You can see. I think that's just detail. There's tiny little holes on there, but the detail on there is very, very nice indeed. So there. Right. So I think that's all we're going to look at for now on this one. As I say, there's another 5 bags there of resin, but you know, just going through it all is just going to be mind-numbingly painful, isn't it? So I think we'll call it a day for this one. Now, I do have another 2 HpH kits, another 3 actually, HpH kits in my stash. I have the FW 190 or 189, isn't it? FW 189, which is the beautiful plane. I want to build that one day. That is gorgeous. I've done a review of that if you want to go and have a look at it. I also have the B52 in 148 scale, which I've done reviews on that. You can go back and have a look at that. And I also have this one. This is the 1/32 scale PBY Catalina. You can see the detail in there. It's stunning. So if you want to see a review of that, give us a shout. I started printing off the instructions, and then the printer ran out of ink, and instead of stopping, it just carried on and everything was pink. So yeah, great, thanks for that, Mr. Printer. So I've got to reprint all that. I've ordered another cartridge, so it costs a bloody fortune, these ink cartridges, don't they? So anyway, thank you for watching. There's the rudder there, look, very nice. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon with another review. I've also got some more build stuff coming up for you. Today is Saturday the 25th of May 2024. So today, later on, will be the Lamborghini video going out. And we're going to be starting our Stuka Sunday soon, I think, as well. So I'll see you all for that. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now. Any questions about this kit, just stick them in the comments down below, yeah?